Okay, well, I'm going to try and show you how to do this. I don't have a lot of bandwidth, so I'm going to make it just super fast. I've got a shape here that's kind of like what your shape looks like. I'm not sure exactly what your points are, say, to get that 58-degree angle. But starting off, we're going to go down here to Mesh Display and our sidebar that comes up with the in key and check angle. And when angle is checked, then it will show you angles while there's enough selected around the angle to define it. Like you can't see the angle when you're just doing a single vertex. Okay, and also I'm going to point out two assumptions I have made about your needs is that this point stays on that axis, doesn't come off in any way, and that this angle, which is 90 degrees now in the end, should also be 90 degrees. We just want to change this angle, and like for example, a real easy way that might work would just be put your cursor on this point, select another point, and in the 3D cursor mode, scale this point towards the cursor, just like that. And you're not going to get your, if you knew the math and the trigonometry of what you wanted, that might be the way it works, because you can look at the length, say, while you're scaling, and that number, which you can't see very well here, but it may indeed work just to scale this point towards that point. But obviously you're getting off the axis, you got to reshift your object's origin and everything back when you're done. Or another way would be to, this is the really hard way, and this is the reason I made the tutorial, because it's a good enough reason as any to show some obscure stuff that's really useful, such as select all this, and down where it says global on our bottom here, choose normal instead. Let's get this sidebar out of the way so we can see what we're doing. While I have normal selected, then my manipulator, the axis, the blue axis is coming up off the face, and that's good. That's what we want. We want to rotate around some, but we want to keep this, make it a custom transformation. So while we have normal selected here, Control Alt Spacebar, and we'll name it custom, and it shows custom down here because we're using it now. I'm just going to leave it. Well, watch this manipulator. When I choose global, it's global, but we want to choose custom and put our cursor on this 58-degree angle point, cursor selected, and we want to rotate from some known position that's good to another known position. We can grab this guy, the top one, and rotate down, or we can grab this guy and rotate up. So we know that this one is like 0 degrees from on that z-axis, on the y or whatever. So we'll rotate that one, and I'm going to type R and Z twice to use that custom Z. If you look down on the bottom, it says along custom Z, and so I'm going to rotate 40 by typing 40 or 0 on the number pad, and then the minus, because it's negative. We want to go negative around that. So that's put this point right here, right there, where, in the right vector, the right direction, somewhere on this line pointed at by that vector is where we actually want this point to go, this line doesn't show up until, or this ray, shall I say, mathematically correct terms, I've made, and you can see it's even got a length of 2. Highly irrelevant data. So I'm just gonna do this kind of like the brute force manual way of, I want to get this line over here, and I didn't enable like any intersect add-on or think real hard about how I wanted to intersect that. But I know that if you put your cursor here and make sure your cursor is selected in 3D cursor mode, selecting that, you can scale out from that point until you get to the line and just zoom way in till you get it. So we'll do that. Let's get over here, start zoom, you know, get in the ballpark. Probably would have been better to zoom in more. Now zoom in on that guy and get into ortho mode while you're doing this. May help to show this way. Zoom a little off, just scale back right to it, and there's no reason to get totally obsessive. At this point, it's, for all practical purposes, I'm zoomed in so far and it's right there on that line. We're gonna call it good because we know we could have got there some other way and the rounding errors would have got us either way. So this point here on the top, get the orientation back where we know where we're at. This point here, just delete it and then select what we got and make a face out of that. We've got a 40 degree here, a 90 here, and a 50 here, and our 50's not in the right place, you know, it's off the axis, but we're going to move everything back. So I'm going to get out of edit mode, and well, not get out of edit mode yet. I'm going to go ahead and change my custom transformation back to global because we're not using that anymore. Selecting this point here, the top, and moving the cursor to it. Now getting out of edit mode, and Control Shift Alt C to set the origin to 3D cursor. And now we're getting close. I'm going to clear the location with Alt G. So now that point is at the origin, and we just move up a certain amount so that the bottoms are flush with our world plane like we want them to be. How that would be easy, and the easiest way, just copy and paste that Z value in our sidebar here where we can see things such as the transform of our vertex that's selected. We'll just look at the Z there, and we'll copy that and back out in so I copied minus something, but I'm gonna paste it and take the minus off right there. The Z for the object's transform, not the vertex's transform, and taking the minus sign off. Voila! Now everything's in the right place except for, as you can see, the origin's up there. We want it back at the origin. So just apply the location, and done. In 99 simple steps, how to be really obsessive compulsive about angles and stuff and move a point in 3 dimensions. I hope that answers your question. I doubt it does, but I don't have a lot of bandwidth and I'm not making this tutorial again. So happy blending. Good luck.